If you write false, it means it has to find the exact same number. So in this case, we absolutely want to put false here because we need it to pull a single student's data. It can't be a similar number. It needs to be the exact student. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like. I'm going to go in to my Q1 data. These are the purple cells that we typically type in each student's response. Now this may seem like a lot at first, but once it's done, it's done. We only have to write the formulas for the functions for one student, and then we can copy them down for the rest. We don't have to put it in every cell. So I'm going to start in cell E4, and I actually have a similar formula in here. And I'm going to take that out so that we can go through and do this together. So our first step when we get in the cell is to type our equal sign, indicating that we're going to write a formula or a function in this cell. Then we write the name of the function, which in this case is VLOOKUP, and it will actually allow you to click on VLOOKUP here, and it'll put in the parenthesis for you. So there's my parenthesis, and then if I click past the parenthesis in order to start typing, it tells me exactly what to put where. The search key is the value that we want to find. So in this case, the value that we want is our student's identification number. So for this case, in this row, row 4, A4 contains the student's identification number. And you can actually just click the cell A4 and it will automatically type it in for you. After each part, we have to put a comma. So I'm going to enter a comma telling Excel or Google Sheets that I'm ready to move on to the next step. The next part is the range that we're looking at. And we're going to need to go to our grade sheet in order to get this range. So I'll switch over to the range sheet while I'm still in the function, and I'm going to select from C9 to P23. You want to start with whatever column contains your student ID number and end wherever your results end. So make sure you include everything in that range, and a range is a group of cells. If I just click and drag across that range, it'll automatically type in the data for me. Now, the one other thing that you're going to want to do here is put in some dollar signs. So we do have to add something to that formula. So I'm going to go, all I have to do actually is press F4. When I press F4, it's going to put dollar signs in front of both the column letter and the row number that tells it, stay in this range, don't leave. This is the same range for all of my students. So pressing F4 there is very important. Once you have that in, we can put in our comma, saying we're ready to go to the next step. I'm going to stay on the grades sheet for the next step. The index is the column number that we want it to return. So right now I'm looking at the first question, and I have to figure out what column that is in. So I start in the beginning column of my range, and I count over until I get the number I want. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is the number that I want it to return. So I type in 10, then I put in my comma to say I'm ready for the next step, and I type in false. Remember, false says we need it to return the exact same number. Once you have all that in, you can go ahead and press enter. It'll take you back to your Q1 data or whatever sheet you're working on to that sheet. And you'll see that it did give me the number 1. Now you're probably thinking, I don't want to have to do this again. What you can do is drag this formula